What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today version 42 came out, and I hope you're ready. So I was fortunate enough to log in at, what was it, like 4:35 in the morning, and get to look at Paragon and what it's turned into. And there are a ton of changes just with the main screen and everything like that. And if you see here, I'm kind of going through everything, just kind of looking at them. The button layout has changed. For example, whenever I finally do figure out where the chests are located, the button to open them up is no longer square. Square takes you to the play menu. So I'm constantly trying to open up a chest and I end up actually hitting that play button. Now I do have just a massive amount of chests on this main account. If you see here, I've got 11 bronze, or 8 bronze, 11 silver, 12 gold, so on and so on. Then I've got like 231 veteran chests, which I opened up about 30 of them. There was an issue where you would open up a chest and it would take a chest away, but it wouldn't give you any rewards. And so after about 30 chests, I had about 5 of them do that. So I just quit opening them up. It was taking forever too. I wish there was just one massive button that says, give me everything. But, the veteran chests do have 14 items in them. So it goes by a lot faster than opening up these bronze chests that only give you 2. Alright, first let's talk about the decks. Now, you have to play the very first game solo, or in a co-op match, before you have access to the deck. So you will play a just bot match, which is kind of just get you familiar with how to use the deck. So I did not film this the best, and since then the servers have actually crashed, so this is the only footage that I do have, so I'm just repeating it over and over. But you do have 3 main places to spend your gold. These are intellect, vitality, and agility. Now you also have a total of 6 gems for each one of these kind of classes, I guess you'd call them. I'm not exactly sure what these are really called, just spending points maybe, but a total of 6 gems. Now these can be arranged in any sort of way. If you see here, I've got 4 on intellect and 1 on the other 2, and it takes 1,000 gold to unlock each one of these first gems. So I would recommend just go ahead and unlocking one of the first gem for each class or rank or whatever you want to call them at this point. Now, once you put in points, then you can use those points to purchase cards. If you look at the bottom of the screen, or the bottom of each one of these intellect tabs, you can see right now I'm 0 out of 0. All you have to simply do is click on the little tree that you would like to upgrade. Now, since this is the first match I've played, it takes me to this other screen, but now you can see my intellect is 0 out of 1, or 1 out of 1. This allows me to purchase a card. Now, once I have a point in that intellect tree, I'm able to buy a card. Now, this card that I picked up is Advanced Evolution, and if you look in the top left-hand side of the screen, each one of these cards on my deck has a certain, a little symbol plus a number. Now that means that's how much it costs to actually equip that card. And Advanced Evolution takes 1 intellect. Now, if you look at the bottom of the screen, or the bottom of the intellect tree, it's now 0 out of 1 since I apply that 1 point. If I unequip that point, I will get my 1 intellect point back, and I can spend that on, another card. So if you see, I do have a 3-point card. So if I get 2 more points in intellect, I can get rid of Advanced Evolution and put on that 3-point card. Now, I do have some cards that require vitality, that's indicated by the green heart, or agility, that's indicated by the red sword. This really depends on what cards you pick, or, you know, really, if you want this card, you have to spend this amount of points in this skill or this agility or whatnot. And as Countess, agility is not the best for me, but that card that does take agility in this beginner's deck is actually one of the better cards. So I do later on end up spending 3 points in agility to pick up that card. Now I am in a 100% bot match. I did not want to wait the 5-10 minutes it took to get into a co-op match, and like I said, I just now touched this version 42 without having any experience. You know, I'd rather just get into it and be able to make this video quickly. One thing I've definitely noticed in this beginning game is my attack speed is a lot faster than it used to be, but my damage is, or my basic damage is significantly reduced. So last hits are going to be a complete learning curve for me, especially as Countess, because, you know, you kind of have to stay in the middle of the minions, and with someone like Iggy able to throw that flame stuff on the ground, you know, it makes it very difficult. Now, if you see here, I'm kind of staying in on this Grux, just hoping we can get some damage, and I just absolutely get melted. So that's telling me another thing is the Countess is a lot weaker than she used to be. I really feel that I could have survived more, and once I got to that low point, I would have been able to get out a lot easier. I don't know if that's because the AI is just so much smarter than they used to be, or if Countess is a lot weaker than she used to be. I'm not exactly sure. I only got to play 2 matches before there was a crash with the servers, so it will take a little more experience, but I have noticed, especially playing bot matches, that Countess is very weak in the beginning, and her basic attacks do a lot less damage, so she solely relies on her abilities. Which, one good thing about that is, you know, it kind of forces ability heroes to play smart with their abilities. You know, you don't want to just spam abilities to do poke damage at rank 1. I think that's going to really change the flow of the beginning game, and at the same time, you might need more jungle rotations in the mid lane than you did previously. So it's going to be very interesting. Of course, like I said, I have only got to play 2 matches before the servers all crashed, so we'll see what happens. Now right here, I just try to take out this Iggy turret. I want to see if you get anything for it, and you actually don't. So I'm assuming that's going to be the same with, you know, Bellica's drone, Iggy's turret, you know, really anything that heroes put on the map that you can destroy. I'm going to assume that you cannot destroy them for actual card points or gold now. Now, one thing, you can add points into those 3 skill trees, the intellect, vitality, and your agility. You can add points at any given time during a match. You just simply hold down the menu button, which if you're using the controller, the new controller scheme, it's the big square PlayStation button. If you're using the old one, you hold down the, I believe it's L2, and it brings out the menu, and you can just simply apply it. So right now I have 12 or 1100 points. I could actually open up that menu and apply those points to it, and that is very cool. I very much enjoy that. I think it is a great change, because before people would have to go back like, hey, I got 6 card points, I need to go back to spin them. Now it's just, hey, I can make my hero stronger, but I can't, buy new cards. You do have to go back to base to actually change the cards you have. That's either deleting them or picking up new ones. Now, if you did read the patch notes, you would see that the river buffs did get nerfed. The black buff does, I want to say, like 15% less damage. Same with red buff. Now, in this match, I was just kind of running around testing things out, seeing new things. If you see there, I grabbed that gold buff and I got 206 gold from that. I'm not sure if that's the number that it's going to be. It seems like a very odd number to me, but I got 206 gold from that. It looks like the regular melee minions give you about 85 gold. The ranged minions give you 95, and the siege minions give you 115. So last hits are just as important as they ever were, and you can pick up certain cards that allow you to get, more gold and things like that. If you see there, I went into my menu and I was able to apply points to intellect just to increase my mana and, damage and things like that. Now, I do end up heading back to base here. I've got 3,000 gold, and I have not fully understood, hey, you need to spend that as soon as you can. But I am able to pick up that second intellect gem. And if you see the card that's glowing blue, that means you're able to equip that card. So it even dumbs it down even more without having just the simple numbers of, hey, you need this to have this. It makes the cards glow that you're able to equip. Now, the starter deck is very sustained for the beginning. All three of the cards that I have are just 100% sustained cards, and after playing the two matches that I was able to play, I can see that being able to build your own deck is going to be absolutely crucial. Especially with a hero like Countess, where I'm just crazy bursty. I'm able to get in, do tons of damage, and then get out. I noticed having these, a lot of sustain cards in the beginning is actually either it makes me very weak, or that is just the way the game is going to be now. I'm a mid to late game hero, which that's how Countess has always been, but it's even more noticeable now. So I think being able to make your own deck with certain heroes is going to be 100% critical. So I thought I'd kind of show off Countess's wave clear and the difference in cards. Now, my Dark Wake is hitting for 396 and my Siphon is hitting for 203. I am currently level 14, and so I've got 4 stacks on both these abilities. Now, Countess had pretty much a full wave clear at level 8 in the old game. Really didn't matter if you had cards on or not. She had that amazing wave clear once she got 4 stacks on Dark Wake. And now it looks like at level 15 now, I'm still not able to clear these 4-stack camps, even though, I'm level 15. I've got rank 4 on all my abilities. I'm gonna go ahead, since I did level up, I'm gonna go ahead and let this run and show you this last 5-stack that we have. I'm still unable to, take it out completely. And so that's just really kind of showing that there is a change to it. But if you did see there, I am doing less damage, and I don't know if that's because of green buff. I really did not understand. I was only doing, I believe, 199 with the Siphon and 360 with the actual Dark Wake. I'm not sure if green buff reduces damage due to, your ability to withstand more damage. I don't really understand how that works, but it was definitely reduced from level 15 to level 14. But I did go back to base, put on that other power card, which power is no longer you have 300 power. It's, you have 18, 20 power on cards. It's very small. But if you see there, I went from hitting 396 to 426, I believe it is. 443. So it's a significant boost just from 18 power. And, you know, that's crazy huge. So deck building is going to be one of the most important things in the new Paragon. And to be quite honest, in the lower level matches I would play with some of the other subs, I used to run just the beginner's deck just to kind of give me a disadvantage. And you could do fine with the beginner's deck. I'm using the beginner's deck now, and early game you are just absolutely terrible. So this is kind of a huge change, and we'll have to definitely make sure, or I will have to definitely make sure to get some of these beginner guides or something along those lines out for all of y'all. Now, the new way to build decks is you build universal decks that anybody can use. So I'm going to build a Death and Knowledge deck. Now, this deck is going to be kind of focused towards Countess since she was the first hero I played. I would like to build a deck and actually go into a match and see how it was. Unfortunately, while I was building this deck, all the servers crashed, so I was never able to actually complete it. But if you see on the top left corner of the card, that tells you the price of the cards. Some cards just cost straight up gold. Some cards cost, you know, agility, some are intellect, some are vitality. All the cards have special abilities. 100% of cards are completely different than any other card. Some cards, once you put them on, you can never get rid of them. Some cards are consumed the first time you activate them. Some cards have actual abilities, like this card right here, Guard Piercer. It has power. Finder of Playthings has power, mana regen, and then you can see it's got that special ability or passive that kind of every single card in the game now just has passive. Sacrificial magic, when you activate it, you lose 3% of health to gain 2% of mana. You know, every card is just completely different. And I think that's one thing that the new version 42 is going to bring, just so much customization to Paragon. I do kind of feel eventually, once the new wears off, there will be, hey, this is the deck, you know, that sort of thing. But before, you know, ADCs, this was the build that you had. If you didn't run this build, you were crazy. And now I think you're going to have a lot more variety, especially if you have playstyles that you really enjoy. But picking your cards is the first part of deck building. Let's get into the gems. If you can see at the top of the screen, there is a next button. Once you pick the cards you want, you go hit the next button, and then you pick the gems that you want. Now I'm currently in the intellect gem, and I'm looking at the stage 1 gem. You can choose. I currently have 2 gems, the auto mana potion and the onslaught. Of course I want the auto mana potion. Now the second slot is deadly mana or experience. I go for experience, and this is really just another level. Now these rank 3 gems, if you see, they have other attributes. Attack speed, this one has basic armor. If you see here, I've got 3 spell burn gems. They all have the same ability, but they all have different attributes. Like this one has 2.5 power, the first one's the 6 basic armor, and the last one I believe is 30 mana. I'm pretty sure I go to it here in a second. Yeah, 35 mana. So of course I want power. You know, this kind of really allows you to customize your hero a little bit more. So it's a more in-depth than... I think this is where people will really see a lot of customization. Not only do you have these cards that are completely, you know, different for everybody, but you've got these gems that are completely customizable too. Now I've got 2 overpowered gems, and of course I picked the one that I like the most. Now you are only able to put on 6 gems, and I currently have 5. I go put on my vitality, and you can see here I'm not able to put any more gems on with agility or in the vitality tree. So I would say, with that intellect, let's say you don't want that rank 2 gem, you can get rid of it and apply a rank 2 to vitality, or even a rank 6 to vitality. I think I would stay away from putting on all the really high rank gems, just because I don't think matches will last long enough to actually upgrade everything to that point. Now, you click the next button again, and that's where you can name your deck. And it's real simple, just name your deck. Of course, like I said, the servers crashed, so I'm gonna have to recreate the deck, but I kind of just did it real quick anyways. Well, that's going to be it for this first look video. I really hope I was able to inform y'all guys about all the changes and everything like that. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them, but I only got to play the game for about 45 minutes before the servers crashed. But if you enjoyed this video, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and I'll see all y'all in the next video.